I believe this journey for you started a lot before ChatGPT.
It did. Actually, 6 months before ChatGPT came in,
Talk us through what did Rephrase AI actually do? No?
Rephrase.ai was and I'm saying was again because now it's acquired by Adobe, was a generative AI text to video company.
If you can talk through any campaign, or, like just take as an example that where you use this particular product.
One campaign which got notice across was the campaign that we did with Shahrukh Khan, which was during COVID time, and it was during Diwali, uh, where Shahrukh Khan became brand ambassador of all the shops. So anybody could just go on their. There was one website where they could just type in the details, and Shahrukh Khan would invite people to come to their shop.
A lot of things around fake videos, fake content, etc.
But for celebrities, we had like very proper checks and balances in place.
Hello everyone. In today's episode, we have a very exciting guest who spent the last couple of years in the generative AI space. We'll talk to him about his background and understand when and where did he really start in the generative AI space and how the journey has been so far. We'll also talk to him about some of the fascinating work that he's been doing with various clients and understand what opportunities and challenges and limitations he's seeing in those initiatives. We'll try and extract some insights for our viewers who are looking to kickstart their career in generative AI or are looking to pivot to a career in sales. And we'll also talk to him in the end about how he manages his work-life balance, which has become such an important conversation in our times. So stay tuned, and we hope that you find this episode insightful. Thank you.
And I'm excited to welcome Piyush Taori to today's podcast. Piyush and I did our MBA together from Narsimhanji, Mumbai, and Piyush has had an extraordinary journey from our MBA days to becoming a leader in sales and business development for cutting-edge AI and SaaS companies. Currently, he serves as the head of sales at Testsigma, where he drives global market growth for their innovative testing automation platform. And prior to this, he played a pivotal role at Rephrase.ai, which was very exciting. We'll talk about it in a minute, which is now acquired by Adobe. And Rephrase helped brands leverage GenAI for personalized video content. In this episode, we will dive into Piyush's exciting experiences in the AI space, discuss the challenges companies face when integrating AI into their operations, and explore the unique dynamics of SaaS businesses where Piyush has a lot of experience. And we are also hoping to get some valuable insights from Piyush into sales strategies and how to build high performing teams in the ever evolving tech landscape. So, Piyush, welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here.
Welcome,
Thank you
Piyush.
so much, Rajiv and Raju. That was such a great introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Okay, so let's start with this question that AI journey, how did it start? I believe this journey for you started a lot before ChatGPT. For most of us, it started with ChatGPT, but I reckon it started for you before that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, it did. Actually, 6 months before ChatGPT came in, and in AI, well, 6 months is a lot of time. So it did. For me, it started with after my stint at LinkedIn, where I spent more than 7 years. After which I joined Rephrase AI. This was early 2022. Um, so and then ChatGPT came in November, December 22. So yeah, 6 months early.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
about that. So, can you talk us through what did Rephrase AI actually do? No, just talk us through what was its products, its offerings, and just talk through that a bit more. And also, it'll be great if you can also give us a bit of a background of the founders, actually, and talk about their vision initially when they started off. That'll be great, actually.
Sure. So Rephrase AI was started by three graduates of IITs, and they started the company with the vision of can we make a Hollywood quality movie without using camera? So that was the problem statement that and that's when Rephrase started. What we would do is, so Rephrase AI was and I'm saying was again because now it's acquired by Adobe, was a generative AI text to video company. So what we would do there is we could record somebody for when I started at Reprhase, it would take us about 20 minutes to record someone. And in that 20 minutes, we would record the way their face moves, their voice texture, all of that, and then we could create their digital avatar or digital twin, which will look and sound exactly the way they do. But at the end of it, the time that it would take to create had gone to 5 to 7 minutes, and it would continue to go lower from there. Uh, so so yeah, like,
Just interrupting you,
go
Piyush,
on, go on.
there. When you say 5 to 7 minutes, what do you mean?
5 to 7 minutes of recording someone. So if I have 7 minutes, what we would need is 5 minutes of somebody looking into the camera and just reading a script. Could be anything. With that, we would know how the person moves their lip, their voice, all of those. And then we could create the magic where I can give you any script, or I can type in any script and the avatar will see as if actually Rajiv or Raju is talking. So think of a
Right, right.
situation where 6 months from now, instead of three of us, our avatars can actually be there and nobody will even probably find it difficult to know that it's not real people.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that time is coming.
Yeah, I think it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to maybe if you can talk through any campaign, or like just take as an example that where you use this particular product. Can you talk us through any such example?
If I add, even before the example, if you can maybe generally, what do you think are like top three, four, five use cases in terms of any industry? What are those three, four, five use cases you saw? And then, like Raju said, if you're able to
Yeah.
talk about any particular campaign, just for a minute.
Rajiv, on the use cases that Rephrase.ai had, and then we had created uh, two different products within Rephrase.ai. One was where we could create avatar, which was for mainly for entertainment industry, where we could create digital avatar of celebrities, but working with the brands. And one campaign which got notice across was the campaign that we did with Shahrukh Khan, which was during COVID time, and it was during Diwali, uh, where Shah Rukh Khan became brand ambassador of all the shops. So anybody could just go on their. There was one website where they could just type in the details, and Shah Rukh Khan would invite people to come to their shop, and that campaign took off, where it won India's first ever Cannes Lions Award, which was equivalent to an Oscar. So that is the campaign which got a tremendous attention and got us to work with a lot of celebrities after that. Once we have, yeah.
In fact, if I can share my personal experience there, I saw that video of Shahrukh Khan actually, and I thought Cadbury really pulled it off, having Shahrukh Khan talk about so many small brands individually. So it took me a while to understand that this is AI working, and this is not actually Shahrukh Khan spending, so many hours talking about each and every businesses. So
Yeah.
that looked like really, really very real.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
Campaign
on.
like
Yeah.
that got celebrities come very close to the consumers, which help brand a lot at the same time. So that was one use case, and we work with a lot of celebrities and a lot of brands.
Actually, that's what I wanted to sort of draw your attention on. What were some of the benefits reported after you ran this campaign? Was there increase in engagement rate, uh, more sales that got reported from the customers? Can you talk to the business
Just like a
benefits?
feel was it just like a feel good thing, or businesses really saw some benefit to their business sales, etc.?
Yeah.
Particular campaign did 5x better than their previous best campaign that Cadbury had run. So it did help quite a lot. Now, if you look, generally any FMCG or CPG companies, they do a lot of TV advertisements, and they do a lot of like ATL and BTL activities. But one part
Sorry,
of the
sorry,
larger campaign.
sorry, Piyush, interrupting you there. You used a few terms there: CPG, ATL, BTL. For our viewers who do not understand those, can you just tell us briefly what does those mean?
CPG or FMCGs are Nestle's and Marico's of the world. Uh, ATL and BTL is like any ad that you see on TV is called ATL, which is broadcasters, and BTL is which is more personalized sort of campaigns, right? So now brands always are trying to reach out to their consumer as closely as possible, but that means like imagine a scenario if again Shah Rukh Khan has to individually call out everybody's name saying, "Hey Rajiv, Happy Diwali," or like imagine Narayan Murthy for that matter wants to wish all of his employees. Cannot happen. They would want to do it, but it cannot happen. Now with AI, that was possible, where you could actually personalize and people could feel special. So that's where brands were leveraging to build that emotional connect with their end users and consumers.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
We have a lot to cover here, Piyush. So just before we move on from this, just if you can touch about one particular aspect that while you guys were working on it, I know this was like really exciting stuff to work on, but did you also ponder on what could be potential risks which this thing brings? Because there could be a lot of things around fake videos, fake content, etc. So was that something in your radar, and anything particular there you were focusing on in terms of risk mitigation?
Oh yeah, that was like everything was making sure that like we mitigate the risk or about building the trust, right? At the end of the day, if you work with any known face, the biggest risk is if somebody gets access to the content, which is the bad players get access to that content, right? So that's why for this specific technology of what we're doing, or if we were creating avatar of a person, we would not do it directly, or it wasn't a consumer play, it was a B2B play for us. So in this scenario, we didn't directly work with Shahrukh Khan, we worked with Cadbury, and then Cadbury's brand ambassador was Shahrukh Khan. So we did contracts with all of them. They all knew exactly what we're gonna do with their avatar, and then we created that. Anything beyond, if we had to do, it was only with their approval. So we had
Right.
very
Right. Okay.
like proper checks and balances in place. We did create another version of this platform where we could, where the risk was sort of negated about this. We created avatar of 30 actors, like common faces like ours, and then you could create content with that. But for celebrities, we had like very proper checks and balances in place.
Right. I think that was really useful. Before we move on, maybe just staying on this topic of rephrase, one final thing that we sort of thought was something that we wanted to bring up with you is how do you think the launch of ChatGPT challenges the business models of companies like Rephrase, right? So, for example, OpenAI, which launched ChatGPT, obviously also has another tool called OpenAI Sora, which does similar sort of text to video sort of a model. And recently, Amazon launched Nova again, which has capabilities to create Hollywood quality videos using just text. So, how does a company like Rephrase, right, differentiate itself and stay relevant amidst all these different tools that the big guys are coming up with?
Yeah. How Sora or for the Runway ML, and there are various companies sort of differ. So when that text to video is, you put a prompt and then a video gets created, right? Ours was a talking head text to video. So
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
our so there, if I Raju create your digital avatar and then I
Hmm.
put a text, it will be your face. It will say those words. So this is where it sort of
Right.
differed. And with the advent of the text to video, the one that you're talking about, sodas of the world, that is what create like would have been like an insane opportunity to merge both of
Hmm.
this technology. Like imagine you
Right.
can put a prompt saying, "Hey, a man is riding the horse," and saying these words, right? So
Right.
now you
Okay.
could actually create that. Today there is background audio that comes on those videos, and if you could merge both the technologies, and which would have had happened by now, or already is happening probably somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them merging would create something which is crazy. Again, taking it to Hollywood level that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
So now moving on, Piyush, from Rephrase, I know that now currently you are leading sales at Testsigma. So if you can briefly touch upon what does Testsigma do and how is AI in particular being used there?
Yeah. Test Sigma is an AI-powered codeless test automation platform. Now, think of any website or app that you access today needs to make sure that the customer experience is not broken, right? Or any feature that you have built should be launching very, very quickly. But that doesn't necessarily happen that the day you build, tomorrow you can launch. You have to test every scenario very, very carefully. There are regulatory reason that you have to do. And again, customer experience is the most key, right? Uh, so this is what Testsigma allows. So when to make sure that the to create a bug-free product, right, and to make sure that testing happens very quickly, you are able to launch the product quickly. That is what our platform essentially help people take care of. And we use AI, like we use conventional AI a lot in our platform. And in the last few months, we've also introduced GenAI, and together it has made a huge difference in terms of the value that we are able to deliver to our end customers.
When you say conventional AI, you're talking about machine learning and analytics and those kind of traditional sort of data science technologies, right? Which is separate from what Gen AI is, which is slightly more evolved version. Just also wanted to make it clear for our viewers
Correct,
as well. Okay,
correct,
okay,
correct, correct. Yes.
yeah, yeah, okay.
So Raju and I did a video recently explaining these terminologies. So if you are interested, we'll put a link in the description. Do check it out. So yeah, moving on from there. In particular, can you also touch how Gen AI is being used, Piyush, in testing? Conventional AI, yes, we understand analytics, etc. But how is Gen AI being used?
So where GenAI comes into picture is, so when you create any app, you want to create various scenarios as to what is it that you will test and how. GenAI helps in, or what we call, by the way, is Copilot, Testsigma Copilot, and we really like the term Copilot because it gives us that initial advantage, or it does bit of the grunt work up front, and then we can sort of go edit those. So GenAI helps in multiple ways for us here,
Yeah.
So for creating
from
synthetic
creating
data and for creating test
cre-
cases, etc.
creating test cases, making sure that the coverage of the test cases is there,
Hmm.
and we continue
Right.
to. So we built a separate team for GenAI product, and then they are doing like some cutting edge work right now. And every month we are able to
Hmm.
release newer features, newer
Yeah.
functionalities. It's been pretty phenomenal right now.
Exciting. Exciting.
Okay, drawing your attention to benefits, right? Again, what are some of the benefits customers are reporting when they're adopting your tool or your product? What are some of the business benefits they're deriving? And if you can elaborate with any case study that you might want to bring up, that'll be great as well.
Sure. The biggest benefit either ways, right? Like in any customer who's looking to buy any tool for that matter, what we're trying to do is we are trying to either do uh, go do faster go to market or build efficiency, right? And I'll talk about one case study that we learned last week, which is with this company called SpendFlow, where they reduced their testing time by more than 50%, right, using our
Okay.
platform.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
uh,
That's awesome.
along
Yeah.
along with that, the way they are able to detect bugs, that has like we fasten that cycle for them. We've also been able to accelerate their test creation journey at the same time. So maybe I'll give you the link of the case study. You can just put it here. Um, the
Sure. Yeah.
utility is pretty phenomenal. I'll talk about another case where one of the largest logistics company in the world have done a global rollout of our product, and they're not just the quality assurance team, but their product team, their non-tech team as well, are able to create test cases and then do the basic testing at their level, which is helping them to roll out the product much faster. So that is another. It's creating
Okay.
level
Yeah.
playing field for a bunch of people.
Sorry, Rajiv, you wanted to go?
Yeah, yeah. Just one question I wanted to ask Piyush, that if I have to ask you, say 2, 3 years down the line, because this thing is moving fast. So if you have to predict that number of people needed for testing, it's already going down. For example, the example you gave, that 50% efficiency they achieved, right? So say 2 years, 3 years down the line, we don't know what's going to happen, but if you have to take your best guess how much efficiencies companies will achieve, so the number of people, manpower needed will go down to zero, will be 10%, 20%, 50%. What would you say?
Finger in the air. Best
That
guesstimate.
is very
That because your guess is definitely better than ours.
Yeah.
I'm not sure like the impact on people. Would it go to zero? Probably not. Would it reduce? It all depends on what company is trying to do. But one of the advantages of Gen AI or platform like ours is that at the end of the day, the companies are able to serve their end customer much better, right? They are able to like we know what happens if there is a bug. We know about the CrowdStrike issue. We know about what happened with Gemini. So things like those can be reduced significantly. These are very popular, but again, there are a lot of smaller things that happen. So companies will be able to do a bunch of this work,
Yeah,
like so
yeah.
save a lot of energy effort on all of these, and people might be doing a lot more interesting work rather than the grunt work that they have to do. So that is 100% that will change.
You did answer, but you also beautifully avoided the question and putting number to it, which is fine. We don't know, but we all agree that efficiency will definitely improve immensely. It already has, and it will continue to happen. And
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Again, the thing that I think, right, is that benefits is one aspect of it. One key challenge, again, from my Rajiv's experience, has been that many organizations still run legacy tech, are running on a old sort of technology. It's very difficult to sort of migrate all of that. So what are the key challenges that you observed, right? Organizational challenges, technology challenges, process, or people, anything that you would want to talk about that, any leader who's watching, let's say, this podcast can take away. What are some of the challenges that you have seen in organizations while implementing AI solutions with your product?
So, like, our tool does work with a lot of companies who use legacy product, on-prem product, right? Not necessarily just cloud. So, one thing that AI has helped. So, the most of the companies started noticing going to cloud with all the movement that happened a couple of years back, the SaaS world. But the companies or industries we did not move a lot with the advent of AI. I think that movement has just fastened a lot. So everybody realized that this is what is now necessary, and over a period of time, more and like people will continue to realize more and more, right? And one of the way that we generally work with companies is to do because again on the legacy system they have a lot of data, they have a lot of processes which have been built, so the inertia will always be there to move from there to another platform, right? Or like in Testsigma's scenario, companies have built in their own framework to move to a tool like Testsigma, again create that challenge. But what we generally do is we do a lot of POCs, proof of concept or proof of value, to the customer. So we tell them pick one small part of your entire ecosystem, give us one specific owner who will sort of do that POC with us. Pick one of your most challenging scenarios, try and automate that with our platform so that they know precisely what is happening today versus what can happen with Test Sigma. And then if you see that difference, with more often than not is seen, then companies end up deciding to go ahead. Now they either do roll out at large or they go small and then grow with us. Different companies have different strategies. But what we've tried and do is build a process which is helping customers, like if there are legacy customers or all of them, we just trying to make it very easy and seamless for them to move to tools like ours.
So
Yeah.
one thing again,
Yeah.
I just want to ask a follow-up question on that. Again, you don't have to go into too deep into that, but one of the big things that leaders are asking about AI and generative AI is data security and privacy. So if you can just maybe briefly touch upon what's the approach that you've taken to address some of those concerns.
Data security in B2B world, that is the most critical. And
Yep.
like the bare minimum for like it's all about trust, right? So the bare minimum thing that we have to do. The good
Yeah.
thing is with pretty much every company is using either OpenAI, or they're using Anthropic or Microsoft's AI, all of those. So
Yeah.
that bridge right now has so they've bridged that gap in terms of trust, right? so they all know in precisely how it is. And what we do on top of it, we do have our own policies, we have our own contracts with list what do we do, how do we do, plus
Mm-hmm.
like certifications like GDPR,
Yeah.
ISO 27001.
Yep.
There are various which also helps in building that trust, and we do have all of those. So it just helps us in having a great conversation with some of the legacies or Fortune 10 and Fortune 50 companies.
So, I one question I wanted to ask. I think you have touched upon that already, Piyush. But if I just summarize that key learnings from your experience, or maybe a few things which companies can keep in mind while implementing AI solutions in their organizations. One is, you said, start small, start with POC, a small proof of concept. One. Second is, you identify a champion who will own that project. So assign an AI champion for that. Third is, you have sort of well defined KPIs or goals. What do you want to achieve, and what does success mean to you? Is there anything else you want to add to?
Uh, yeah, like the process that you just laid out is something what we've seen some of the best companies do. So this is that. Something which can precede that is now AI has it will provide efficiency in every single business block of an organization. The key is to understand where, like, which is the right block to choose. So we saw that a lot during the rephrase, when I was in rephrase, where companies would just come and ask, hey, show us what you have to do, and then they would try and map that. We've moved
Right.
on a lot from there, but it's important to understand that what are we trying to achieve? Is it the efficiency in a particular team, department, and then pick a POC within that.
So
That's
your
one thing.
what's the framework to shortlist the use cases, right? An approach or a methodology to identify the right use cases based on what's the ask. That's I think broadly what you're talking about.
Correct. So there can be 10 different things that AI can 100% do. It's just
Yeah.
about picking those top two, three things and
Yeah.
Hmm.
then figuring out how do you go there. So that is the key at the moment. The world, like, every month is continuously evolving. So very
Yeah.
soon this model might just change. But right now this is what we see when I talk with a lot of tech leaders. This is the process that they follow, and it's something what I've seen repeatedly sort of being used.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Now moving on, Piyush. Since you have worked with two really great SaaS company startups, and you are in this space, so for our viewers who do not really understand SaaS so much, can you briefly tell us what does SaaS stand for, and how is it different from, say, a regular IT service?
Uh, SaaS is software as a service, which
Yep.
means it is something which you can just access on your phone, or you can just access on your laptop. Anything on internet that you can access is largely or essentially SaaS. Now, take for example, everybody uses Netflix here. Everybody uses Zoom. All of these are SaaS solutions, which are essentially plug and play, where we don't have to wait
Hmm.
for a bunch of things to install. We can just start using and accessing it. So this is
Right.
where it
Is
just
Yeah.
Facebook and
differs.
WhatsApp also SaaS?
Yes, all of them. Anything we can, which we can just quickly use,
So,
uh,
so SaaS can be
is
both B2B and B2C.
absolutely yes, yes.
Right. Awesome.
With
Okay.
the advent of cloud, everybody is moving to SaaS, which is just making it very easy for us to use, for us to consume. And from a
Cool.
business context, these are all uh, in a where people pay monthly. These are all annual recurring deals. So there are various facets to SaaS, but in the most simplest manner is something what we can just use at the click of a button.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, so I just want to bring you back to the topic of AI from SaaS, and specifically want to talk about sales strategies, right? So, with your background in sales, it would be injustice to not talk about your thought process or your views on what are some of the effective sales or go-to-market sales strategies for AI and SaaS companies, especially the early stage companies, because your experience has been mostly in the startups lately. So, what are some of the sales, effective sales, as I said, right, go to market strategies for AI and SaaS companies? What would you recommend?
So I trying to like ask about usage of AI within the company, or what we do
No, let's say,
Testsigma per se.
yeah, for example, Testsigma, right? What's some of the sales strategies you use to go to market, and how to approach clients? How do you sort of take your offerings to the market? Maybe just few bullets if you can share with us, for any budding startup that wants to take some cues on how they should go about going to the market, taking their offerings, etc., from a sales standpoint.
Okay. For us to build a go-to market, it is really essential to understand the product that we have. Who is the
Yeah,
most like ideal? What's it called? ICP, ideal customer profile. Who are these people? And
yeah,
then try and see which are the industries which this product can have the most impact.
yeah,
So that allows us to then narrow down. If you look at, there are so many companies, there's so many people that we can talk with, but identifying these two things is the most essential to narrow it down to the most addressable market, and then
mm-hmm.
going after companies within that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that again, giving an example at Rephrase AI for the entertainment use case that we spoke about, we were working with pretty much every FMCG company, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We also had uncovered use case of employee engagement. So we were creating digital avatar of the CXOs, sending wishes to the employees and all of those. So then we would
Right.
target a certain set of companies, companies about certain sizes and all of those. So it is about working backwards on what our product is sort of doing to solve the most challenging problem. And as and when it evolves, it is important that we continue to look at this strategy depending on the, like, if we've achieved product market fit, then we don't need to revisit it a lot more. Otherwise it can be
Yeah.
like a monthly or a quarterly sort of exercise to keep
Right.
building the narrative,
Right.
and help tremendously there. Yeah.
Um, so, as a sales leader, how do you use AI in your role, and what kind of productivity benefits do you see if you are using AI in your current role?
Oh yeah, we use a lot of tools which are like again native GenAI, where the core is GenAI, or tools which have started using GenAI at
Yeah.
large. So some of the examples is we've started doing video prospecting. So we've started
Okay.
using tools, GenAI tools, which helps us to do outreaches a lot faster. We use AI like video recording tools, which again helps us in building giving us the like the AI there helps us in giving the short summary of the meeting, clearly laid out what has gone right, what else do we need to do, and all of this concisely gives me enough insights around if I have to coach somebody within my team, I can use all of that data to know what are they doing, what are they not doing. Um, and like we use tools like Sales Navigator and so on and so forth, which have a lot of AI component in that. This is helping us to spend less time on doing researching. That's where it is, and allowing us more time to talk with customer, which is the best way a salesperson can use their time.
And I reckon going forward, right, it will be more and more used in the sales function, right? I guess it will become sort of a default, like we use Excel and Word in our day to day.
Yes, I mean it is all about giving people enough time to do the thing which is most important to the job. So instead of spending 10 minutes to craft an email, if AI can help me with that, and then I can do that in, let's say, 5 minutes or lesser, it just helps tremendously. Or imagine if for a deal, if somebody's working for 3 months, if it gives us like a concise information and then work upon that, it does bring in a lot of productivity gains, and we've already started seeing that quite a bit. So I'm excited as to what's going to happen next month. To be honest, because this is just evolving so fast.
So
Wonderful.
you're not just getting productivity gains for clients in testing, but you're also seeing tremendous productivity gains in sales and every facet of business with AI.
Oh yes, absolutely. So everything that I was saying, I see like that. Hey, which department do you want to work in, and all of that for AI. I see that. And in Testsigma, working in a startup, you can actually see that a lot faster because everybody just around you. And then, yeah, every tool that is introduced, we see the changes.
Awesome. Yeah.
So finally, Piyush, so sales is a very very high pressure pressure job, and we see that because we work with sales guys as well, although we are also involved in sales, but not as much as yourself. So how do you keep your calm, and how do you maintain your work life balance? And I we studied together, so I remember you from college days. You look almost the same, and you have almost the same smile after working in sales for so many years. So how do you keep that calm and maintain that work life balance, and keep that smile on?
I think the new camera that I install is working very well, Rajiv. Uh, but, uh,
Is it an
the
AI camera that
uh,
makes you look slim?
yeah, it makes me look 10 years younger for sure because we did MBA 10 years back. So,
Mm.
but
uh,
yeah, look, say, sales gets stressful at times, and it is very rewarding as well. But the thing is, there are few things that I do, and I always recommend people do that a lot more. Is I try to have a morning routine. So if I won the biggest deal, uh, uh, or if I've lost like a really big deal, at the end of the day, when I sleep and I wake up, I just want to make sure that hey, it was a good day or a bad day, but having a routine just helps me reset. So that
Mm.
becomes really, really important. So I try and have that. So I go for a run. I meditate for a few minutes every morning. Um, then I love listening to music, so that always helps me. So sometimes if I need energy before a very important meeting, I listen to music. And post the meeting, if I have to calm myself down, again, music sort of helps a lot there. I like to take a lot of over the weekend, just go meet friends, family, all of it. Love to travel, so try and do a bunch of these different things, which just helps me to reset again. And to be honest, sales is a lot more process oriented. So what I try and do is like the larger goal gives you a lot of stress the more we keep thinking about it. So my aim always is to break it down to the most basic constituents, and then I know what is it that I have to do to get to that deal or number that we are chasing. So I know precisely. I try and plan my day. Um, and yeah, that has been helping me so far. And I try and
Awesome.
work with my team, yeah, around the same.
One more thing, since you have worked so much on sales, so I read. I have been reading Naval Ravikant and listening to him, and he talks about something called as a specific knowledge, meaning something you are really good at, and he refers to sales as well. So when you talk about being a good salesperson, being good at sales, would you say that is a skill which you can learn, or would you say it is more of a personality and comes to people naturally, or would you say it is a bit of both? And if it is a bit of both, what is it more? Is it something like sales is something anybody can learn, or you have to have certain traits for you to be a good salesperson? What would you say?
Uh, Actually, it can be learned by everybody and anybody. Uh, I did not expect myself to be in sales when I started, but when I like my first job after my engineering was in sales. I wasn't sure if like let's test waters, and I really loved that. And then over a period of time, I started seeing that there are certain traits which can actually be built, but a few things which absolutely help. I always tell people there are two the most basic thing among the various skill that is required. One is curiosity, that hey, how why should somebody buy this tool, or how will they help, or continue to read about the companies that we should go after. There are various things, but curiosity is really really important. And the second aspect in sales is perseverance, because we have to like be on the toes continuously, talk with so many people. Depending on what type of sales somebody is doing, it can take 6 months, 1 year to close. So to persevere with curiosity, so that we continue to add value every time that we speak with them, is really essential. And these are the skills like we can absolutely build. It is just about how to use the calendar effectively. And yeah, nothing is required. Like I remember as a kid, people used to say sales is for extrovert people, all of that. As in, some of the best salespeople are introverts as well. So nothing that essentially defined. It's just about, are you able to take the pressure well, and do you enjoy that? Is eventually becomes important.
That's, I think,
Awesome.
very,
So
very,
that's
very, I think, yeah, that's something I think our viewers would really sort of take away, especially if somebody who is wanting to sort of foray into sales and is not very sure about, pivoting towards it. I think that's really a useful tip.
awesome. Awesome. That's great then. So that is a wrap. So Piyush, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and valuable insights with us today. From exploring the world of AI to telling us what SaaS is and what are the challenges, opportunities, and strategies for success, how to be a good salesperson, and the fact that anybody can be a good salesperson. So that's great. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And stay tuned for more such engaging conversations. And as always, keep learning and stay curious. See you
Thank
in
you,
the next
Piyush.
one.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv and Raju, for having me. It was great chatting with both of you.